Tokyo has 4 distinct seasons, and its climate feels like the breath of nature. In spring, cherry blossoms flutter like snow along the Sumida River. In midsummer, typhoons bring Pacific moisture to the coast. In autumn, red leaves color the stone steps of Meiji Shrine. In winter, fine snow lightly covers the roof tiles of Sensoji Temple. However, this megacity sits at the intersection of the Pacific Ring of Fire and Tokyo Bay, experiencing thousands of perceptible earthquakes each year, making it constantly dance with disasters. This innate sense of crisis has shaped a city with resilience embedded in its genes, with hardcore infrastructure as its skeleton, smart early warning as its nerves, and social resilience as its flesh and blood, turning disaster threats into protection for life. Tokyo's resilience to disasters began with warnings from the earth. In the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, the insufficient structural performance of buildings caused widespread collapses, and secondary fires burned down the ruins. This led to Japan's first building standards law, aimed at systematically protecting lives and property during earthquakes and secondary disasters by setting minimum standards for land use, structural safety, fire resistance, and equipment configuration. The 1964 Tokyo Olympics marked a turning point in disaster prevention concepts. The government applied a hydraulic buffer device to the Tokyo Skytree for the first time. At that time, the global practice was to rely on thickened steel bars to resist earthquakes. Tokyo Tower installed a giant hydraulic shock absorber with an 8-meter diameter at key parts of the structure, filled with high-viscosity oil similar to automotive shock absorber oil. When an earthquake strikes, the pistons compress the oil as the tower sways, and the oil offsets the seismic force through a precision valve. This earthquake-resistant design exceeded international standards at the time. The lessons of the 1995 Hanshin earthquake led to a qualitative change in Tokyo's disaster prevention system. The Self-Defense Force's post-disaster rescue was delayed by 8 hours because it required an invitation from the prefectural governor. To address this, the government revised the basic law on disaster countermeasures and established Japan's first wide-area disaster prevention network, linking the central government, local governments, and individuals. The central government formed a disaster prevention meeting, and local governments at all levels created their own meetings to draft peacetime disaster plans and ensure unified command during emergencies. Through national drills, earthquake survival skills are instilled into citizens' instincts. Residents experience 7-magnitude earthquakes in simulation cars and practice the life-saving, lie down and hold on posture. Communities organize evacuation drills along predetermined routes, and volunteers teach foreigners how to use emergency toilet bags in multiple languages. In addition, in core areas such as Roppongi Hills, silver disaster prevention supply cabinets are scattered along the streets like life-saving capsules, containing basic supplies such as compressed biscuits and emergency blankets. The smart locks can be instantly unlocked by scanning a disaster warning text message, enabling basic supplies to be distributed to 2,000 people in the surrounding area within 5 minutes. After the Great East Japan earthquake in 2011, Tokyo launched the Urban Regeneration Emergency Preparation Area, planned to create vertical disaster prevention communities in core areas such as Roppongi and Shinagawa. These super high-rise buildings are interconnected through underground pipe corridors, equipped with shared power generation, water purification, and medical modules, forming self-sufficient micro-city units. Even if surface roads collapse during an earthquake, the underground system can still operate. The pipe corridor in Roppongi Hills restored power supply within 2 hours after the 2011 earthquake, 5 times faster than traditional emergency repairs. The disaster prevention community near Shinagawa Station can provide 5,000 people with 72 hours of basic survival guarantees during a power outage, turning the entire community into a Noah's Ark. In 2023, Tokyo launched the Disaster Prevention Cloud, monitoring over 400 indicators such as building stress and groundwater levels in real time through 26,000 vibration, pressure, and water level sensors across the city. When underground sensors detect signs of soil liquefaction, the early warning system can sound the alarm 10 to 30 seconds before the shock wave reaches the city. This early warning capability has shifted disaster response from the after-the-fact notification, with a 5-minute delay during the Hanshin earthquake to prophetic prediction tens of seconds before an earthquake. Tokyo residents know that true resilience is not about fighting against disasters, but about learning to dance amidst the tremors, like the weeping willows along the Sumida River, whose roots are deeply anchored in the mud, but whose branches always reach for the sun. This city, which has woven crisis into its blood, will eventually write its own survival poem for the 21st century as cherry blossoms bloom year after year.